What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are finally gonna be adding some more power to the Supra. So after cruising this car over the weekend with a few other people that had some pretty quick cars, it really gave me the urge to kick up the power in this thing. I did mention in an earlier video that I am waiting for a specific turbo kit to come out. Once that turbo kit comes out, it comes with a full turbo replacement, and you can get the full turbo back exhaust. So it's like a whole kit. I really think it would be a great addition to this car, and then we can really kick up the power on this thing to where I want without any limitations. But until that kit is available, in the meantime, I had to do something. So what I did is I ordered the JB4. The JB4 is basically just a piggyback tuner, I guess is the best way to describe it. You plug it into some of the existing sensors, and it comes with a bunch of different maps that are available for it. So we're gonna head to the shop, get this thing installed, run it through some tests, see how it performs, if I can notice a difference off the bat. But we'll see. We'll head to the shop, we'll test this thing out and see how it does. Alright guys, so we just got to the shop and we are about to get started on the Supra. Unfortunately, we are going to have to work outside today because my Jeep is kind of stuck in the garage at the moment. I had a air leak in my rear ARB air locker. I believe it's just the seal housing. It's that little copper wire there. Those tend to go bad sometimes. So, not a big deal. I already ordered the part. I'm just waiting for that to show up. Then I'll get that swapped out so this thing can move again. This thing's just about done though. I know I showed this in an earlier video, but finally have all the armor mounted, all the suspension is finished. I'm just down to a couple little things. I just did a rough country cold air intake, rough country hood strut. That's actually really cool. If anyone has a Jeep, I would definitely buy that. So before we get started, there's an OBD2 port that runs into the cabin and plugs into the OBD2 port inside the car. And then that runs up and plugs into I believe this wire here on the tuner itself. This just sits in that compartment down there, and the rest of these just run in, plug in a couple different sensors underneath the engine cover. So we're gonna pull the engine cover off, get all these plugged in, and see how easy it is. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. There's only 3 plugs to plug in the main part of the engine bay. You have the electronic wastegate controller sensor down here. That's this sensor. You plug that in. You have to remove the air box to get down to that. Then you just pull this heat shield off and it plugs right in. Ran it up here with some zip ties. We have our T-map sensor, which is plugged in right here on the top of the intake manifold. And we just have our map sensor, which is right here. Those all plug in together. The wires, I'll zip tie and clean this up. They just run right under here through this compartment, and then the JB4 just tucks in down here in this engine compartment. I am going to run the OBD2 port sensor through the little hole in the firewall and plug that all in, and that'll pretty much do it. For the install of the JB4, it was really simple. It only took like 10 minutes. Hardest part was just pulling the airbox out, and that's pretty easy. So now that that's done, we'll put the engine bay back together and fire this thing up and see what happens. Alright guys, so that's basically I connected the app to the car, and that's pretty much it. You can go right over here to settings and click maps and literally change your map on the fly. All you do is press the button and it instantly changes the map. So here in Arizona, I can only get 91 octane, which kind of sucks, but we're gonna run map 2 because that says 4 psi, 91 to 93 octane fuel. So we're gonna run that for right now and see if we notice a little bit of a difference. There are some controls you can do in the main screen of the car by holding the BC button. Really, it's not even necessary if you have the app. I definitely recommend getting the quick connect link, but there are all these different gauges that read on the fly. As you can see, the RPMs up there reading instantly. There is a boost gauge, but if you want, you can just tap and hold and you can change it to pretty much whatever you want. There's all these different options, so you can play around with that. You can play around with that and put, you know, pretty much anything you want, but that's pretty much all it is. So what we're gonna do now is just take the car out and see if we notice a little bit of a difference. We should have 4 extra pounds of boost in this thing, so that should be pretty noticeable, I would think, you know, right off the bat. But we'll get this thing out on the road and test it. All right, guys, let's test this thing out. Dang, that RS6, that's pretty sweet. All right, guys, so we're like right in the middle of traffic, so this may be a little bit harder to really feel if it's any different, but just initial acceleration, it does feel like it has a little bit more of a kick. It throws you back a little bit more, so I think there definitely is a little bit more boost. I don't know if 4 pounds is going to be like super noticeable off the rip. You may have to get like higher in the RPMs to really feel that, and the roads I'm on right now, it's going to be hard to do that, but we might get an open section here that we can test it out. If we can make this light, we should be able to get a pretty good acceleration pull here. Let's see here. Nope. Well, at least we're first, so coming off this light, we'll definitely be able to see, we'll be able to give it a little bit more throttle to see if it, you can notice that boost a little bit more. Let's see if we notice anything here. Definitely feels like it's pushing a couple extra pounds of boost. I mean, it definitely felt like it felt a little bit different. So for the money, I think this thing was like $650 for the JB4. I'd say it's worth it, especially if the custom tuning can really do that much to the car without unlocking your ECU, because just to ship that off and get it unlocked right now, it's like 2,500 bucks, I think, and it's not even an option at the moment because of all the crap going on in Russia and Ukraine, and you do have to ship them to Russia. So oh yeah, you can definitely notice a difference in the boost. Definitely feels pretty good, and I'm only on map 2, and that's just out of the box, click of the button, map 2, so it's nothing crazy. But yeah, I definitely think it's worth the money. Like I said, 650 bucks I think is what I paid. That was with the Bluetooth module, so it wasn't that bad for some quick power. It literally took 10 minutes to install. I'd say it's definitely worth it. So after driving this car for a few more minutes, I gotta say this thing is definitely more aggressive. You can definitely feel the boost. I'm not sure if it did anything to the shifts, but I don't know, it just seems more aggressive. It could just be because I'm pushing on it a little bit more than I do in like my normal everyday driving, but you can definitely, if anything, feel the boost. So I think I'm definitely going to be looking into some custom maps for this thing, just to see if we can kick it up a little bit more. I didn't have any tire slip in any of the acceleration I did. Having the 325s in the rear with the Widebody kit really helped keep that power on the ground. So I think this has a lot of potential. Like I said, I'm definitely going to look into some custom tuning for this thing. All right, guys, so we just got home. like I said, JB4, I definitely think it's worth it. If there's a couple guys out there that want to get a little bit more power out of their Supra but don't want to spend all that money on unlocking your ECU, going through a custom tuner, or still running like a standard downpipe, or not standard but still has a cat on it, I would definitely recommend the JB4. For I think 650 bucks, you can crank up the boost, you can get some custom maps made for a few $100. You can do logging with that thing. It pulls your codes. It gives you all the gauges right on the app. Definitely worth it. So, like I said, if you're looking for a little bit more power out of your car without doing anything major, definitely go with the JB4. But that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video, guys. This was just a quick one. I wanted to just add a little bit more power while I am still trying to get my Jeep finished so I can get the garage clear. Once the garage is clear, then I'm starting on this. I have so many parts for this thing. I have no more room in one of my bedrooms because I have so many boxes up there. So if there are any Mustang fans out there and are interested in seeing basically a full overhaul from front to back, basically all new everything. So if there are any Mustang fans out there, I definitely recommend hitting that subscribe button. This is gonna be a pretty fun build. It's starting very, very soon. So I wanna thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that like button. Really means a lot, really helps these videos out. But until next time, guys, I will see you around. Peace.